over the years, we have gotten so many EZAs that have come through this game. There's been so many units too, it's hard to keep track, but generally we have some that were more excited than others, and we've had a ton of units, especially recently, that I wouldn't say we were not necessarily hyped for these units, but I think the fact that we've looked at some of these units' kits, and they've changed our opinion, or some units that we just never expected to be as good as they are today. And to lead us off, we're going to look at the LR TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This unit's interesting because, of course, this unit was very anticipated. A lot of people wanted this EZA for so long. Everyone's like, dude, where is this EZA at? And he finally came out during the EX part of the Global Dokkan campaign. I think a very good time for him to come out. And a lot of people saw his kit and was like, wow, this guy sucks. Like, just straight up was like, yeah, this guy's not good. And at first, I couldn't understand that. Right? If you didn't watch this guy in action in game, I can understand just looking on paper, this guy can look a little underwhelming, right? Especially because, again, his damage reduction and his guard are both temporary. I mean, it'd been nice if one of those two could have stayed, but regardless, yes, I mean, those are factors you have to consider in the kit, but at the same time, this Gohan is taking fully built up Rose Goku Black for 200k. Yes, that is with the LR Hybrid Trio's active skill, 2 of those, and all in the family up. But that's, like, having 2 of the active skills up is not, like, far-fetched. You're going to have those up, especially if you're running the youth team, because the Gohan is very good. He just needs a team, and now he's starting to get some people like the Goten and Trunks in the BoJack movie Gohan. And again, he's a very strong asset for that team. He's an amazing slot 2. You can tank some in slot 1, especially with his damage reduction and intro up, but he's definitely a slot 2 unit, and that's fun because Gohan can man down on slot 1, but overall, he's an amazing EZA that definitely got underestimated when people first saw his kit. Alright, the next EZA, or I should say Super EZA we're going to look at is the STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Once again, this is another unit that had actually high expectations going into his EZA, but a lot of people didn't like many things about his kit. 1, very low amounts of damage reduction. 2, he was not a floater, and if you look at GT Heroes, you're like, they don't really need a slot 1 or slot 2 unit. Does he have value for that team, right? And when you look at his kit in action, you start to get a different story. Yes, of course, he still is a slot 1 or slot 2 unit, but he's doing 34 to 40 mil supers turn 1, and then on top of that, he helps hold down slot 1 and slot 2. Of course, before the Blue Zone fights, that Blue Zone fights definitely changed the atmosphere of what you can run in slot 1 and slot 2. But at the same time, he also hits so hard that he helps blitzing these crazier bosses that allows him to be valuable still. But, of course, he also has the Omni counter to all super attacks, and then on top of that, since he's slot 1 or slot 2, he allows you to float to the GT Goku until he's ready to go into Super Saiyan 4, but even then, the STR Goku I find tanks better than the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, post-super and stuff. But, of course, the AGL Goku has more, support, the Grade A, all that stuff. He has a ton of things that go his way. But if you want a more stable slot 1 or slot 2, well, really slot 2 unit, I probably wouldn't run this guy slot 1, is the Super EZA STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But again, the community was not that way at first. They were very negative about this EZA. They just didn't think he was going to tank well. They didn't think he was that good. Again, he wasn't a floater, so a lot of people are like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he would be much better as a floater, right? I feel like the GT Heroes team would have a little more, stability if he was a floater. But he isn't, and that's fine. It still works, but at the same time, it just sucks that there's not really any good floaters for this team per se. I mean, GT Goku's a good floater, I guess, but there really isn't they're missing one more unit, I feel like. They're definitely missing one more unit to kind of make this team full-rounded, but again, I do enjoy the Super Easy a ton. I think a lot of people underrated this guy a lot just because he wasn't a slot 3 unit. Alright, the next unit I want to take a look at is the EZA TEQ Syn Shenron. This kind of falls more under the category of the topic I want to talk about, which is, this guy wasn't like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, TEQ Syn Shenron's coming, but when they announced he was going to EZA, we're like, oh my gosh, wow, that's kind of crazy, like, we didn't think he would come this soon. Like, we possibly anticipated he could be coming, but it was just a shock to see him a part of that giant list of EZAs they brought out for part 2 of the Global Dokkan campaign, and they did not fail to deliver with this EZA. In my opinion, he's the best EZA that has occurred this entire celebration. Maybe minus the TEQ Gohan, you could probably argue him as the better one now. But at the time I was making the video, which you'll see before this one, the EZA, the best EZA, or yeah, the best EZAs from every worldwide download celebration. I definitely think the TEQ Syn Shenron is the best one, just because again the fact that you have 100% damage reduction if you're fully set up with the Omega Shenrons, of course, and then he just does a lot of damage. He's just a great role player for the team. It's just, again, but no one would expect TEQ Syn Shenron to be so dominant. 40 mil supers, has debuffing, of course, if you get 7 key spears, and he's a good slot 1 anchor turn 1, which is what the team needs to get set up and rolling a bit. You know, he's not a locking victim turn 1, he's not an AoE victim turn 1. You know, later on he can struggle a bit without that extra 40% damage reduction, but he's a very strong EZA TUR for sure. And a lot of these other ones we have can have issues, like Fusions and Monsters getting locked in slot 1, Vegeta and Trunks getting locked outside of slot 1, right? Like, even Super EZA STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku doesn't have the ability to handle Blue Zone bosses the way this TEQ Syn can, because he has 100% damage reduction. You just can't hurt him. You know, that's what makes this unit so good right now, and he probably won't age that well because as soon as Omega's gone, he's gone. But you know, it is still incredible to see how strong he is in the current meta. Next, we have the EZA Fizz Path to Power Kid Goku, and this one's a little weird because it's like, I wouldn't say people were like jumping up. Nah, that's not true. A lot of people were pretty happy to see him EZA. A lot of people loved when he released. I did for sure. He was very broken, of course, which is the main reason for everyone being very happy for his EZA. And they did not fail to deliver, but that wasn't the case at first. See, when he EZA'd, his main partner, you could say, was AGL Kid Goku, so you couldn't link them together, and I wouldn't say Kid Goku's team was the most complete, right? Like, if you were going to run AGL Kid Goku's team, you might as well just run TEQ Vegito's team, with AGL Kid Goku on it, with no reason to run Path to Power Kid Goku. So, you know, those two released, and they didn't have a home, really, right? Not until Tao and Tien came around is when they really got a true home, and that's when Path to Power Kid Goku's value skyrocketed, right? His damage reduction support helped Tao and Tien so much and perform at such an elite level that it elevated his status like crazy. But not only that, he's tanking, you know, these special battle bosses for double digits post super, which is quite insane. Like, I mean, this Kid Goku is really good, and mine's not even rainbowed, by the way. So I don't even want to know how good he is rainbowed. But he is a very dominant unit. I mean, he's a great slot 2 unit. He can even handle normals in slot 1 if you get enough orbs, of course, and some rainbow orbs. But I mean, this guy's really good. He did not feel that way at first, but he definitely, and a lot of people's opinions changed on him as soon as we got Tao and Tien to come out. Alright, we're going to talk about 2 Super EZAs back to back, and the first one's going to be TEQ Cell. We got to talk about this guy because no one expected him to be that broken, right? Like, not a single, like, again, with the lineup we had coming, right? Super Janemba, Vegito, Super Gogeta, right? Even the LR TEQ Gohan, right? All of these guys just scream, oh my gosh, these guys are about to be broken. And no, instead they gave it to TEQ Cell, and I'm glad they did. Look, Gogeta and Vegito already have their spotlight, and during its anniversary, we literally got Gogeta and Vegito. They did not need their other counterparts to be as strong. I mean, yes, for nostalgia reasons, sure. But TEQ Cell really never had a chance to shine. On his release, he was good, of course, but not dominant. His EZA was decent, but not dominant. This Super EZA is exactly what TEQ Cell needed, a moment in the spotlight to show that he can actually be a crazy unit. I mean, 90% damage reduction with the stats he can have. He can go slot 1 against some crazy bosses. Not right now, he definitely can struggle, but, I mean, this guy is still no slouch. I mean, it doesn't help the power creep went ridiculous after he released, so he just was never built to handle the levels of damage we're seeing right now. But, again, it still doesn't mean he's a bad unit. It's pretty insane how his kit was structured and how good he was no matter what slot he is, and the damage he was doing was insane. I mean, he's not putting up Super EZA Omega Shenron numbers, but I mean, he tanked better than Super EZA Omega. I mean, I would definitely say that for sure, if you're facing a super class boss, that is. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can pick your poison here, but I mean, this TEQ Cell did impress a lot of people, and I mean, no one expected him to be this good. Alright, the other Super EZA I was talking about is Buuhan. I mean, it's not really a shocker he's on this list, but it's not like I wouldn't say that people weren't anticipating Buuhan to be good or weren't excited for Buuhan. I just don't think anyone thought Buuhan was A, going to be this broken, and B, be better than Super Vegito. It is quite insane that Buuhan was as good as he is, because it's just stats and 66% damage reduction, yet it works. He's doing like 50 mil supers, right? Especially on Omega's team, by the way. Omega's team, he's even crazier. I mean, we could still struggle, but he is really good on Omega's team. And then, of course, as well, I mean, he's tanking really well in the older content. Right now, he definitely struggles, but when he released, there was nothing that could even touch him. He was just so strong. And people were like, dude, is this unit a mistake? He's like one of the strongest units coming out of the Anniversary, right? He was, you could argue he's better than 3 of the 6 Anniversary LRs. I don't think many people would like contest you on that. And that Buuhan was crazy. He was doing like insane stuff. Again, now of course he's dialed back a bit, but I don't think anyone expected Buuhan to be so dominant that you could almost compare him to the Anniversary units. All right, finally, I have the Year 7 LRs, the Super Saiyan 4s, and the Tech Gods. And now I know it's going to be so weird to put them on this list because a lot of people had high expectations for them, and they were executed well. So why are they on this list? Because nobody thought they would be so broken that they could handle power creep levels that we've seen from not just Special Battle, but from the Blue Zone fights. So it's pretty crazy that they're able to handle these 14, 16 mil supers, especially because during the like battle hardened formidable foe meta, I remember that specifically, right? Like, I remember them struggling on turn 3. They just were not able to handle those bosses. But luckily, if you're running Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the teams now, right, the extra 70% defense that the Super Saiyan 4s especially are getting from him allowed them to be so much better. Of course, all 7 links does help here too, but it's just crazy that these guys are just so good in this current meta, even though we went from their release being the strongest unit, like we're talking about realistically, is Jiren or Blue Goku doing around 5 to 6 mil, and now we're talking about Blue Zone Gohan doing 21 mil supers. We're talking about Blue Zone Kid Trunks doing 16 mil supers. Yes, you can blitz them, but I mean, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is doing 11 mil supers. The Tag Cooperation Gotenks is doing 12 mil supers of crits. Like, we've tripled the amount of damage we saw during Anniversary in a matter of 7 months. And yes, units are dominating the new meta now, but they were dominating back then, and now they're doing decent. But it's just crazy to even see how well these units have held up, because the power creep levels of this has not been seen before. I'm not saying Broly power creep was not as significant. I'm just saying we've never seen where they've power crept the game once, such as Special Battles, which was like barely, it was an increase, right? Like, you know, he had 11 mil supers, whatever. And then right after, you have bosses doing, like, they jump another 10 mil in damage. Like, it's crazy that there's about a 16 mil damage threshold that is increased in one celebration. We're seeing Festival of Battle bosses as like the normal boss. It's just crazy. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys agree or disagree with what I'm saying? Do you guys think that there is more, you know, do we think that the bosses are getting out of hand? Do you guys think these EZAs are to be on this list? Or do you think, for example, like the Year 7s, should they have been on this list? Probably not, right? But I just really want to bring in the fact that I don't think anyone could even imagine these Year 7s being so broken that they're tanking 21 mil supers, even after the release they were released in. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The first link in the description is to all my voice content, and the second one's to all of my normal Dokkan Battle content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.